I think it wouldn't be important to them if they got to the final and won. But I think that because they're in a situation now where, like I say, the form in respect of dropping points from winning positions is something that if they did have the players that he's talking about, you might be able to rest some players so as you can finish the season strong, because you want to go into that game with momentum. And if you then get to the final, you want to go in with momentum, because at the moment, the form seems like, if I'm Paris Saint-Germain at the moment, being able to rest 10 players, I'm probably looking forward to Arsenal coming. Hopefully, obviously Partey's going to be back, Declan then pushes forward, Marino play. Maybe that changes the whole the whole dynamic of everything else. But then again, you're still going to have the energy, the output, which Arsenal at the moment, especially when you look at like the people, and he doesn't make excuses for it, the players that are not playing, and then the players that he has got to come on at certain times in the game, you do feel that it is a really, really tough mountain they're climbing, especially like he said, the players are doing brilliantly just to get to it. And all that with the pressure of trying to win the league off of Liverpool, trying to stay in the Champions League, with the injuries, with everything what's going on, and trying to get to the Champions League final. I think they're under a lot of pressure, a lot of fatigue, and we're going to really learn a lot about them in the next couple of games, in the next game.
Yeah, it's going to be huge, the game against Paris Saint-Germain in mid.
Hey, mate.
How do you come into this game? How do you approach it? Coming behind after the first leg and then the frustration of losing at the weekend?
Yeah, I think nothing changes, to be honest with you. It's a semi-final. It's 90 minutes away from a final. I think that tells you everything you need to know. I think the manager spoke to us. Us as a group of players know what we can achieve tomorrow night, and it's a game of football, you know. We can go out there and we can achieve something great for this club, and that's what we want to do. You know, we obviously know we're 1-0 down, but we have full belief, full positivity that we're going to go out there and win tomorrow night.
There's always been lots of talk about your position as a number 6 and number 8, but do you feel in the more advanced role recently you've kind of gone to another level in your game?
Yeah, I've been really enjoying it. I think this season I've played the majority of games at number 8. Obviously playing with Thomas, it's allowed me to be, you know, that more box-to-box role. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, you know. It gives me a bit more freedom to roam around the pitch, get in the box, also do my defensive duties as well. So, yeah, I'm quite lucky. Obviously, Thomas is there. That he sits in front of the back four and he lets me roam up and down. But, yeah, I'm really enjoying that position at the minute.
John?
Hello, Declan. I was just going to ask you, I think you were caught on TV cameras in the tunnel before the first game. If we don't have the ball, we die. Basically, I just wondered what you
Can I just put that? I actually didn't. I don't think I said that. I think it was something like I don't know how that come about. I read that after the game and I was like, I'm not sure I said that. And then obviously a big thing got made about it. I think I was just talking about in general, like we obviously know PSG are a really good team with the ball, and sometimes you are going to suffer, but it's about, you know, how you defend, how you stay compact, and you know how you can hurt them when you regain the ball. So yeah, I think that story got spun a little bit, but yeah, that's what I was saying.
Was that one of the hardest nights that you think you and also the team? I mean, I think PSG are probably the best team I've seen in Europe this season. So they've been an outstanding team, aren't they? Was that a really difficult night for the team? And how do you feel in the end you came through it?
No, not really. I think the first 15 minutes, I think the early goal probably shocked us a little bit. And it took us probably 15, 20 minutes to get a foothold in the game. But once we started keeping the ball a little bit and started to create some chances, and obviously Donnarumma made some amazing saves, we had full belief. And then second half, obviously there was a little blip, probably 10 minutes to go, where they hit the crossbar, and we'll put one wide. But we had some massive chances as well. So I think tomorrow night it's going to be a really good game. And like I said, we're really positive and we have full belief we can come here and do something special.
Gary?
Hi, Dec.
Hello.
You're looking very positive, look like you're buzzing. Obviously, you've experienced winning a European semi-final, winning a European final. Can you sense you're going to do similar this time?
Yeah, I think you need to have full belief. We certainly have that as a group. The manager certainly drills that into us every single day. I think if we're the best versions of ourselves tomorrow night, and we know we can be that, you know, there's no stopping us getting into that final. You know, we really need to be positive. You can't come into a semi-final away at Paris and not have that belief and, you know, courage that you're going to come here and win the game. So, yeah, we're ready and we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a really special night to be a part of.
Talking there about looking forward, and of course we're looking forward, but just look back quickly. I've watched both of your free kicks in the first leg against Real Madrid about 100 times. How often have you watched them?
Probably about the same, to be honest with you. Yeah, it was a special moment, obviously, them two goals. just the fact it was back-to-back, you know, it was the first one and then the second one straight after. I'm not sure I'll probably ever do that ever again, to be honest with you. But it was a real special moment, and obviously to help the team get through, it was, to be honest with you, I'm still speechless. Like, when I look back at them, it's just incredible. So, hopefully maybe tomorrow night I can get another one. Let's see.
Jordan?
Hi, Dec. As Gary said, you played in big semi-finals for West Ham and for England. Does that sort of pressure just come as second nature to you now?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just, I've played so many games of football now. I've been obviously playing since I was 18 professionally. And tomorrow night's just another game. You know, it's a semi-final of a Champions League, but, you know, I don't put too much pressure on myself. You know, it's us versus them, and we obviously know what we have to do to get to the final. Like you said, I've played in semi-finals before. I know it's required to get to finals, and hopefully tomorrow night as a group we can pull through and we can achieve something really, really good and make it a really special night for this club.
And one of the semi-finals that stands out, I think, for the wrong reasons, was the Frankfurt game at West Ham, and when there was an early red card and emotional. And is that kind of the opposite of what you need tomorrow night? Just calm heads and to just keep believing no matter what happens?
Yeah, 100%. I think we showed we can do it. When we went to the Bernabeu the other week, there was a lot of questions on whether we could rise to that occasion. We obviously had a 3-0 lead, but there was still so much talk about them obviously coming back and playing at the Bernabeu, and we've not experienced that before. But I think as a group we handled that amazingly well. Obviously the atmosphere tomorrow night is going to be incredible as well, but we've proved that we can handle big situations. And tomorrow night's another massive step for this team, you know. We're a young team, but if we want to keep being one of the best teams and want to win stuff, we need to keep taking these massive steps. And tomorrow night's a big step to take, and we're fully driven by the fact there's a final, 90 minutes away, so we need to be ready.
Sam?
Hi, Dec. When you joined Arsenal, you spoke about adding new layers and levels to your game and becoming even better. Do you feel like those free kicks and the goals and sort of getting forward now, you've kind of proven that you've done that? And if so, how much more do you think there is still to come from you over the next 3 or 4 years? Yeah,
there's so much more to come from me, I think. I think I've been doing it for such a long time, even at West Ham. I played at a really good level. Mikel, working under him, has definitely added more layers to my game. It's been incredible. And at the moment, I feel really, really confident in my game. Going into games, I feel really assured, really confident that I'm going to play well and I'm going to help the team out. And obviously for the next few years going forward, I just want to help this club, We're so close last few years to winning, obviously, Premier Leagues. We're in the semi-final now of the Champions League. The next step for us is to win trophies. And I sense that we're close, but to get over the line, you have to win that first one. And then I feel like they'll start coming in for sure. We have such a good group, but we need to keep believing and being positive.
Couple more on this row. Start with Simon.
Dec, just on that new sort of attacking role, are there players you've studied or looked at in particular? I mean, England's obviously got a rich history of those sort of goal-scoring midfielders.
No, not really, to be honest with you. Obviously, I watch football naturally, so I see, obviously the likes of Lampard back in the day, how they used to move around in the box, get away from their opponents and score. But obviously playing in this 8 role under Mikel was a bit different. I'm not always in the box. It's a bit more of a box-to-box role. Having to play in pockets a little bit more, dropping deep, just depending on what the opposition do. But I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It's a completely different role to what I've ever known. And I think you're starting to see the best of me and what I can do, and I'm happy that I can showcase that.
Tom?
Hi, Dec. I think in the 100 games that you've now played for Arsenal, you've become one of the key leaders in the group. The team's leader, Martin Ødegaard, the captain, has had, by his standards, he said himself, not his best season at Arsenal. How has he been, outside of what we've seen, still as a leader for you off the pitch as a captain, and how important is that role for him and you in the group?
Yeah, he's incredible. He's our...
Arsenal injury update: Martin Ødegaard, Jurrien Timber, Ricardo Calafiori latest news and return dates. Arsenal have been dealt a possible double injury blow ahead of facing PSG. Arsenal endured a difficult weekend as the Gunners fell to a home defeat to Bournemouth, amid concerns over the fitness of both Jurrien Timber and captain Martin Ødegaard. With the crunch Champions League semi-final second leg against Paris Saint-Germain looming on Wednesday, time is tight for any injured players to make themselves available. The likes of Ricardo Calafiori, Kai Havertz and Jorginho are all hoping to feature again for the second ends. But the midweek trip to Paris is soon coming into focus. The captain played the full 90 minutes as Arsenal were beaten by Bournemouth, providing an assist for Declan Rice's opener in an otherwise familiarly ineffective showing. Ødegaard was seen limping at the full-time whistle, having earlier inadvertently kicked the turf when taking a shot. Arteta had no update when asked about his skipper's fitness after the game, telling reporters, "I haven't had a chance yet to speak to the doctor giving me an update on that, so I don't know." The centre-back was a shock absence from the team sheet for Bournemouth's visit to the Emirates on Saturday, and Mikel Arteta was guarded when asked about his condition. Asked whether he was confident Timber would be available for the PSG trip. The Italian's first season in N5 has gotten off to a slow start. He has impressed when on the pitch, but struggled for fitness throughout the campaign, missing long stretches of the campaign through injury. Jorginho, one of the most experienced members of this Arsenal squad, suffered a lung injury against Brentford and has been out since mid-April, complicated than expected. Thankfully, he's fine, he's feeling good, he's recovering well, but it was a bit more than what we wanted. Hopefully, if everything goes well in the next week or so, I think he will gradually integrate in the team. While his involvement is unlikely, Arteta did not formally rule Jorginho out of the PSG tie, lumping him in with Calafiori as he said it may come down to a last-minute decision. Lower-profile absence from the Bournemouth team sheet was second-string goalkeeper Neto, who has made 4 appearances in all competitions this season. On loan from Bournemouth, he was ineligible to face his parent club and, as such, was left out of the squad. He should return to the bench in Paris. The silky German is continuing to struggle with a hamstring issue suffered in a warm-weather training camp in February. The silky German is continuing to struggle with a hamstring issue suffered in a warm-weather training camp in February. Gabriel underwent surgery to correct a hamstring problem in early April and has shifted his attention to preparing for next season. An Arsenal statement said further to being substituted during our match against Fulham on Tuesday, "We can confirm that Gabriel Magalhaes has sustained a hamstring injury which requires surgery. Gabby will undergo a surgical repair procedure to his hamstring in the coming days and immediately begin his recovery and rehabilitation program, with the aim to be ready for the start of next season." Tomiyasu has been a constant absentee from Arsenal's 2024-25 campaign, making just 1 appearance worth 6 minutes in October. He had been struggling with a persistent knee issue, eventually undergoing surgery in February. The Japan international posted a statement on Instagram, "I've had a surgery on my knee few days ago, and I've already started my rehab to do what I love the most again. It has been the toughest period in my career for sure, and it carries on a bit more, but I won't give up. Thank you for your support and see you again." Gabriel Jesus is not expected to return to play this season, last featuring for Arsenal in January's FA Cup loss to Man United. He has struggled with knee issues throughout his stint in N5 and has been forced to undergo yet another surgery on a torn cruciate ligament.